husband?
My gran lives here.
So you're visiting Gran?
Yes, yeah.
Just for a holiday?
Yeah, yeah.
Where is this your Gran there?
No, that's my mum and my auntie.
Oh, right. So we're stopping the family here.
Yeah.
Is it all right if we...
Yeah, we watch you all the time. I know, I've seen this. I've seen this.
Well, then
you
know. Okay, you're going to tell us your life story in 15 minutes.
Oh, well, no.
5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. I always wonder how people actually manage to get the whole story out of people, but...
Because I'm not threatening.
Yeah, possibly. The whole life story, where do I begin?
Well, where were you born?
Ireland. I lived there till I was 7.
You like green?
Yeah, love green.
Do you wear green a lot? Is it
Um,
conscious?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah?
At times. This colour, I love this colour anyway.
What do you call that? It's a special green.
An apple green or...
Bright green?
Yeah, possibly.
Right.
Yes,
You were born in Ireland?
Yeah, I lived there till I was 7, moved over to Australia, moved straight over to Melbourne.
Not on your own, of course.
No, with my family.
Yes.
I'm the youngest of 7.
Youngest of 7. Did you get picked on a lot and bullied, or were you taken care of?
No, I was very spoiled, probably.
Were you?
I always say being the youngest was a great.
That was good.
It was really good. I was the youngest in the 17 years difference, so it was pretty good to have older sisters that looked after you.
They weren't all girls, were they?
6 girls and 1 boy.
Is that why there were 7 of you? Was the boy just before you?
No, he was actually the second, so Mum could have decided to stop, but no,
Right.
kept going.
Right.
Good Irish Catholic family.
Yes. And do you think it prepared you well for life, having a large family like that?
Yeah. I think I loved coming from a large family, and we're all very close, and only one sister lives overseas.
Yeah.
She stayed in Ireland.
Yeah.
She was about 21, I think, when we left, and she was going out with someone and ended up staying there. You know, they're now married and have children, so her life is still in Ireland, and I've got a sister actually visiting her at the moment, still there, so we're all sort of back and forth and a bit transient.
Christmas would be fairly busy.
It is. 22 for lunch was very interesting. It was a very good lunch.
Yeah. What happens if there's an argument?
Everyone's involved. Everyone knows about it. Everyone's involved, but it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, well, as much we all love each other and fight, and that's big families sort of tends to.
And are you all different?
Yeah, we are actually. We're all really different looking, different personalities, and I think that's probably why we do all get along well, and we all seem to bounce off each other really well.
What are some of the downsides of the big family? No privacy?
Yeah, I guess when something happens, you're pretty sure to know everyone's going to find out about it. That'd probably be the only thing.
Has that happened to you? They found out things that...
Oh, but I mean, I'd always tell them. I mean, we're all pretty...
Yeah.
But it's just sort of... When everyone finds out, it's like, God, this family's incredible the way... But we all, we all do it. And there's not too many downsides, I don't think.
How many of the siblings are married now?
4.
Not counting you?
No, I'm not married,
No.
the one above, and the only boy.
Yeah, right. Do you plan to be?
Yeah, one day.
One day.
Not,
Is there anyone
not in
on
any
the
hurry.
horizon?
No, not on the horizon, not in any hurry to get married. And
not going to have 7 children yourself?
I wouldn't
You
mind
would?
having about maybe 4 or 5, 7. I don't know, there's probably not much difference between 5 and 7 in the end.
Probably not.
But no, not intending to have a huge family.
And you were with your mum and your...
My auntie. Yeah.
Where's your dad?
He died a few years ago.
What was the relationship like with him, with this big family?
I was very lucky. I had a great relationship with my dad, being the youngest. Dad always seemed to, it was always the favourite, being the baby, so he loved having the babies around. So I was the youngest for the longest, obviously, so I got most of his attention, and also at the same time, Dad was in the Senate and he'd retired just as I was born, and Mum was working, so it sort of was a bit of a role reversal. I spent a lot of time with Dad at home
Yeah.
and Mum was working.
What sort of picture do you have of him as a man? What sort of, how would you describe him to someone?
Very strong, very charismatic. Yeah, I'd say those two sort of really seem to sum him up.
And he stood for something? Did he have a...
Oh yeah, if he believed in something, he stood for it, you know, very much so. It was,
Is he the sort? Did he have the characteristics that you now regard as a man's? You know, like did he form your view of male?
Yes. Even in his Dad was the type of person, he always sort of had a presence about him, and you know, you always, before you even saw him, you knew he was in a room.
Yeah.
And I guess, that would definitely...
It's going to be hard to live up to, isn't it? I'm going to ask you to introduce us to your mum.
Yeah?
Could you bring her over? Before you do though, just how would you describe it, just so we can have what are the things to look for in your mum?
Mum is just amazing, basically. There's lots and lots of fantastic characteristics. So, Mum's very... she's brought 7 children up. So, I don't know, there's too many good
capable.
characteristics. Yeah.
Okay.
So, she's
Any
pretty
negatives?
special.
She's not here now.
No.
No?
No,
What's
they
her name?
really aren't. Marie-Therese. Oh, Mum's name is Barbara.
Okay, you're Marie-Therese.
I'm Marie-Therese.
Okay, let's meet Barbara. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
We just wanted to meet you, seeing that Marie-Therese told us about the family.
Oh, yeah.
And we wanted to meet somebody who's had 7 children successfully and survived intact.
Oh, well, stamina and a sense of humour is important.
Where did all that mostly happen? Was it in Ireland? All of it?
Well, yes, I met my husband in Ireland. I came back here when I was engaged, and then we lived in Ireland until we came out here in '86, so all the children were born in Ireland.
Going back there for a minute, when you met your husband, you were obviously very young.
Yeah,
so
22.
22.
No, he was older.
Was he?
Yes. He was 39.
Right. That's not that much older.
Well, I didn't think he was older. I just thought he was fascinating.
Your mother's sense of humour, has that been passed on to the children?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think to everyone, we all have it.
Yeah.
I would say.
So, is that manifested in? How is that manifested when you're all together?
Some of my children are really witty and good mimics, and the rest of us appreciate it and have foils for them, if you like.
I think we all are pretty good at laughing at ourselves and being able to not take things too seriously, which you can't in a big family either.
It's probably the best medicine you can have.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, princess. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
What are you doing for your birthday, princess?
I'm going to a party tonight, and then I'm going to Happy Valley.
How big is the party?
I don't know, a few hundred people, I think.
300 people. And you got any presents yet?
Yeah, I got a couple of presents and a bit of money as
A bit
well.
of money, always useful.
Yeah.
What are you hoping for? What sort of presents would you like?
A camera and more money so I can buy clothes.
Clothes, you like clothes?
Yeah.
Yeah. What sort of clothes would you like to buy?
I don't know, just summer clothes,
Uh-huh.
like board shorts and stuff.
Right. You gonna have good music at the party?
I hope so.
Who's organising it?
A couple of DJs, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what about your mum and dad? Have they wished you happy birthday?
Yeah, my dad called me this morning and wished me happy birthday, and my mum's at home and she wished me happy birthday, of course. Yeah.
You got any brothers and sisters?
No, just a cat.
Just a cat?
Yeah.
Cat wish you happy birthday?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Have a good time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Do you live around here?
Yeah, down near the beach.
Near the beach?
Yeah.
Good place to live. Balmoral Beach?
Yeah.
Yeah? Have you been on the beach today?
This morning.
This morning?
Yeah.
You do swimming or?
No, just waiting for the bus. Just walk down there before the bus comes.
not actually enjoying the beach?
I do, but it gets a bit too hot at the moment.
Too hot?
Yeah, the sun kills my skin.
Does it?
Pommy.
Yes, I can
not
hear.
used to this, not used to the sun.
Are you here on a visit or do you live here?
I am here on a working visa, 4 year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you do?
IT.
Of course. What part of IT?
Just technical support, desktop support, stuff like that.
So
Cool.
did you come here with a company that you work for? Or?
No, I came out here on a backpacker's visa, and then I met a family that took me in when I went through some trouble and everything.
You went through some trouble or they went through some
I went through some trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sort of partied out too quickly, spent all my money, and
Yeah.
you know, so on and so forth. Anyway, the backpackers where I was staying, they helped me get back on my feet along with another family.
Yeah.
And yeah, we developed a friendship, and I got a 4 year sponsor, and here I am. Been here for 2 years so far at that sponsor. Yeah.
Tell us about that time. You came here to party and you did.
Yeah, I wanted to get away from England. I had a bad time in England.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets a bit depressing after a while. So I just came over here. I spent all my money on beer and friends and partying, and before you know it, you know, it's over here it's like holiday weather.
Yes.
You know, it's,
and you feel in holiday mode.
yeah, holiday mode. It's really hard to get yourself into work, but yeah, obviously after the money ran out, I hit the rock bottom.
Yeah.
Living on those $2 Maggi noodles and things like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I suppose it was just a stroke of luck that this family come round to the backpackers where I was staying.
Yeah.
Asked if someone could disassemble a bird cage and take it over to Liverpool. Bearing in mind I'd never driven anywhere in Australia, I didn't have any idea of the geography of Sydney or anything.
But you put your hand up.
Yeah, I needed the money that badly, I went for it. So I took it to pieces, took it all the way out to Liverpool and returned, brought the van back in one piece, and they were quite impressed by that. So they said, okay, you know, we'll help you out. You've obviously got a bit of intelligence.
So the relationship really started with that, and
yeah, how can I say it? Okay, I was living in, let's say, on a slate at the backpackers. You know, I was my rent was building up and building up.
yeah.
It wasn't going anywhere, so the family said, you know, why don't you come and stay with us? And we have fax machines, etc., etc. You know, everyone in the house was, well, Alan was working, which will get me into the environment where I need to sort of get up early in the morning, write out a CV, fax it off to I don't know how many agencies, and in the end it all came together. I got a contract at the stock exchange, and it just went on from there. And then,
how long did that take?
All in all,
From
probably
the time you moved in?
Probably about 3 weeks, really. In a hostel, it's really hard to do anything like that. The whole environment in a hostel is very, you know, clothes everywhere, people in and out your room, partying. It's really hard to do that. But when you really put your mind to it, it just came together really quickly. Yeah.
And all this time, were you in touch with your parents in England?
I have been, yeah. I was ringing them up and saying, oh no, you know, I've got no money, I think I'm going to die, you know, just panicking, totally panicking. And, you know, they said just sticking out. I mean, none of my family in England have got any money really anyway, so...
They couldn't really help you?
No, not really. It was, you know, I brought it all on myself anyway, so...
What about girlfriends?
Girlfriends? Yeah, I met a woman when about 6 weeks before I left the country after my backpacker's visa. That's Maureen, and yeah, she's 11 years older than myself, but you know, she's cool.
You're still together?
Yeah, she looks after me so well. She really does. Yeah.
How did you meet her?
Citibank. I was doing a contract in
At work?
Citibank. Yeah. I was working there, and
was she a senior position to you?
No. It was a big call centre. I was IT support, obviously. It was about 250 odd, round about there, and people I used to support. And you know, one day a PC broke down. She called me over, and you know, we started talking and developed from there on. Really, you know, I'd not long split up with a girlfriend I was with, sent her back to it. Well, I paid for her flight back to England anyway. She didn't want to work or anything, and she couldn't really get over England. You know, her mum had cancer and everything, and you know, there's a few things going on in her life, so she couldn't really concentrate on Australia. So she just went back home. I'd give her the money for that.
Why did you pay for her to go back?
I did.
You felt that you should?
Yeah, you know, she couldn't get her head into work or anything.
Yeah.
You know, she was going through a rough time,
Yeah.
and
You just felt like doing it?
Well, Yeah, it was. There wasn't no real. There wasn't any other person in the picture at the time or anything like that. There was nothing at all like that. It was just.
So it wasn't a breakup in the sense that.
No. She just needed to be around her family for just to make sure her mum's okay and her dad could manage to keep the business afloat and everything, you know.
So you did the decent thing.
Yeah.
What is your lady's name?
My surname?
No, your lady's name. Your current name.
Maureen.
Maureen.
Yeah.
Maureen. And do you live together?
Yeah, we got a place about 2 months ago, right down on right next to the Balmoral Beach. I mean, it was a real steal. They was offering it for $280, so I chucked in another 20, you know, and said, just to make sure we get it, and we got it. Yeah. And life's been pretty good since we've been living down there.
So is it different living with her? Is there anything in the relationship that's changed as a result?
No, Maureen was brought up among 4 brothers. Her father works for the UN, so he was always away around the world, and so she was. She helped her mum and everything, you know, look after the boys. Well, growing up around the boys and everything, looking after them. So she's never really lost it. So it's sort of like having a mother figure around. I know everyone's probably going to think, yeah, well, she's 11 years older. You're actually seeking your mum, but I'm not. She's just she's so good. I mean, honestly, you wouldn't believe it. Dinner's on the table. Even after she comes straight in from work, she'll get everything looked after and everything, you know.
She looks
so
after
good.
you, like you said.
Oh yeah.
Has she been married before?
She has, yeah, she has. She went through a bad relationship with her ex-husband was a pilot for Cathay Pacific, a captain, and you know, he went from a small-time flyer to a big-time pilot, and it went to his head, and you know, the relationship didn't work out. Right. So she came back to Sydney. And she's, you know, getting her life back on track. So, you know, it messed her up as well.
So what do you like?
Sorry?
What do you like to do together? What are the things that you've got in common in that?
The beach, lounging around.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really help it. Living down next to Pomeranz, you know, just go out.
Easy lifestyle.
Oh yeah. Nothing too strenuous at all.
Yeah. You can deal with that.
Yeah.
I'm going home. Oh yes. I'm going home. Oh yes. I'm going home, Lord. I'm going home. I'm going home, Lord. I'm going home.
Are you tourists or locals?
Tourists.
Tourists from
Canada.
From Canada. Now you're in Chatswood. Do you mean to be in Chatswood, or are you lost?
Oh no, very much meant to be here.
Meant to be here?
Because we were actually married in a church over in Willoughby 27 years ago.
Oh really?
So we stopped to take a picture. To take a picture in the same door.
Yeah? How come you were married in Willoughby?
Because I was raised in Australia and we came back to Australia to get married.
To get married. Where did you meet?
In England.
So you're actually living in Canada. You were born in Australia, raised here, and you met in England.
Yeah.
You have to tell us how.
in a back lane going to a pub in London.
In those days, young ladies didn't go to pubs alone.
I see.
So they always ordered up escorts.
Uh-huh. So you hadn't met before?
No.
And you were in London doing...
I was at graduate school, University College.
Right. And it was love at first sight?
Everyone else decided. Long before we did.
Really?
Yes, everybody else thought we were suited.
So you went along with it?
Yeah.
And where did you live at the time when you got married? Did you get married fairly quickly?
No, we got married after a year and a half. We came back to Australia having finished our work in England.
Right.
And then went back to Ottawa, Canada, which is where we've lived since.
So you got married here with your family, right? Your family did they come over?
No.
So you had a lot of people here and you had nobody?
That's right, but I had met most of her family and friends because they all came out to London to inspect me.
And they gave you a tick.
Yeah.
Now, at the time you were studying?
I was doing a PhD in engineering.
In engineering, and you?
I was doing the primary courses at the College of Surgeons in London.
So you were going to medicine? Did you end up in medicine?
Yes, I've been in medicine for many years.
You're still in medicine?
No, I've retired now.
Right. But what area?
I was in general practice in Ottawa and then at the cancer clinic in Ottawa. Yeah.
And you retired by choice?
Yes.
Was enough?
Yes, enough. The cancer clinic, everybody used to say that's very difficult work. How do you do it? But you always had to remember that even though you might be able to cure somebody, you could always give them some sort of comfort.
Yeah.
And I think that was a very important thing to remember.
Because the downside of that was stress and the sort of the human aspect, the trauma that goes with it.
Yes.
How did you manage that?
Well, I think you have to have a life outside of your job. And I think women have probably more options in that way. We're forced to a little bit because you run the home, you do a lot of organising and things. And I always had gardening and sailing and doing things like that.
So in that respect, you were the housewife as well, in the traditional sense of...
Yes.
Yeah. Has that changed since you retired?
No.
You still look after him.
Yeah, that's right. I still look after him.
Morning. Hello, we're from SBS.
Yes.
My name's Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
Your name is?
Norman.
Norman. Just wondering, what line of work are you in that brings you to the city?
Commercial real estate agent.
Other than by experience, how do you get that skill?
Well, you can go to university or to TAFE and obtain the education that's required, the tertiary education. But after that, really, it becomes a learned thing. It's do it over, experience, and especially if you work with some elderly person that's been in the field for a long time, their knowledge is invaluable to you.
Is that what you did?
Yes, I did that. Yeah,
you learned from a mentor.
I left from a mentor, from the basic residential real estate right through to now where I'm in commercial real estate.
Were you always? Did you always have the gift of the gab, as they say?
I think I did. I started in the service station industry, and the service station industry in those days were where we had to run out and serve each individual client that came in. That's from putting petrol in their car, checking their tyres, cleaning the windscreen, checking the bonnet. So it was back-breaking work, but you're with that person for so long, up to 15, 20 minutes.
Yes.
All you do is have to talk, and you talk about either their personal issues. You almost have a white collar on yourself, like you become a priest when you listen to all their problems and giving advice. Yeah.
Were you then ambitious? Did you want to move off the service station?
I think that was the biggest motivation I had. Yes. Yeah, definitely.
It was good training ground, but tough going. How long did you do it for?
That was a family industry, and at that time we had 3 service stations. So I was manipulated between all 3 service stations.
Your family?
Yeah, that's right. And so that went on, the family themselves went on into the industry for 35 years, but I was only in it for, say, 10.
What sort of a youngster were you? Did you have this ambition and drive?
Well, as a youngster, the ambition and drive was kind of forced onto you, not with a whip or anything like that. It was kind of the loyalty and respect for the family to stick by them, gave you that impetus to help them strive and succeed, and hopefully that would flow back onto you. So that was the goal. So any sort of social aspect about your life disappeared. It was basically work orientated. So I've come from a very much work orientated family and survival.
This is right through your teens?
Yes.
What about before your teens?
Before my teens, it was crying, not wanting to go to school. That's about it. Yeah.
Brothers and sisters?
7 brothers, 4 sisters.
7 brothers?
Yeah, 4 sisters, and I'm being the youngest. So I already had that mentor in many ways to keep following their footsteps.
And being the youngest, I mean, there was
no spoiling.
there was some. No, what about? There must have been some upsides.
The upsides was their experiences, and so I've always had that mentor mentality, where I'm always, seeking advice, and they're passing their advice anyhow to you. So. Yeah, that's the upside, I suppose.
Is there competitiveness amongst the siblings?
No, absolutely none whatsoever. Total respect. It's a marvellous close relationship, yeah.
And your parents are still around?
Mum is. Dad passed away some years ago.
Right. And now, do you all gather around Mum? at Christmas time?
Yeah,
that sort of thing?
at Christmas time, at major functions, because all the ones that have got married, they've got their in-laws to go to now. So, it's dissipated.
Are you married?
No, would love to be, but I am not married yet. Again, that was my own choice, I suppose, in terms that work was more in the forefront of my mind than anything else, and probably naive to marriage and women at that point in time. But hopefully now I'm out there.
You're looking.
Sussing the marketplace.